So here, the pupils have been tasked with adding two fractions together. In this case, a half plus a third, which they've incorrectly answered as 2/5. The reason they will have done this is because 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, and 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, which they're used to when they're adding whole numbers. But with fractions, we need to do it slightly differently. So with fractions, we need to make sure we have a common denominator on the bottom of the two fractions, i.e. they have the same number before we can add them together. And obviously we can do a quick check with this, where say we draw a circle, we can see that's a half there, say that's about a third there, and a half plus a third is obviously not equal to 2/5 because 2/5 is less than a half. Okay, so what you've done here is a common mistake for people who are just learning to add fractions. So you can't just add the top two numbers together to get your top number, and you can't add the bottom two numbers to get your bottom number. You need to change them so that you've got what's called a common denominator. So the bottom numbers on each of these need to be the same. So what we do to do this is a little trick where we timed them by 1. But we timed them by 1 in different ways. So with a half, we do a half, and to get our 1, we look at the bottom number, the denominator of the other fraction that we're trying to add it to, and we do 3/3, which is equal to 1. And then we add, and we do the same for a third. We look at the other fraction, and we can see our denominator is 2. So we times it by 2/2, which then is equal to 3/6, because when we're timesing, we can just times the top number and we can times the bottom number, plus 2 times 6. And here we can see that we've got a common denominator on both of the fractions, so we can just add the two numerators together. So our answer is 5/6.